This is a quick video on how to install the TP-Link Kasa Switch. It's a smart switch. It's a Wi-Fi operable smart switch. On the back here, there's the line and the load, and then this requires a neutral, which is a white wire, and ground, which is a green wire. So this is my connection here. So before you do anything, make sure the main is switched off, or at least the connection here is terminated. So in my particular case, I had to identify which one my line was and which ones my load wires were. So it looks like the load for the line for my old switch was actually spliced in from the connection here. And the way I was able to identify which one was line and load by knowing where the lights were. All my lights are on the ceiling, so and this is the only line wire coming in, which is from the ground. So knowing that all my lights are on the ceiling, I know those are the load lines up top. So by identifying the wires, I was able to pull out my load versus my line, and that actually helped me figure out how to connect it back here. So just really quick here, like I said, my line is right there, and for my old switch, the line was actually spliced in between, so I had to terminate that connection so that I could plug in my line. So I used the first one here as my line, and that's actually connected up here. And then for my load, I had two connections. So in my old switch, there was a connection here and there was one plugged in over there, and that's going into two different directions. So I went ahead and merged them together here, and then added my load wire, the second one, to that one right here. And then after that, if you have an older home, you may or may not have this neutral wire, but in my particular case, all the neutral connections, as you can see, the white wires back there, it's all a mess, but it's all tied together and in this wire nut right here. So I went ahead and added my neutral into this whole big wire nut. So the wire nut supplied with the smart switch is pretty small, but luckily I had one that was already there. And then the last one, ground, is pretty easy. Ground is usually the bare wire, and I went ahead and put a wire nut on that one and connected that. And that's pretty much how you install a smart TP-Link smart switch. This is pretty much applicable for a lot of other smart switches too. But be sure to identify your load and line, or it might throw you in a big loop like it did for me. And if you're not sure on how to do this yourself, always consult with a certified electrician or have an electrician do it for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, stay tuned for more.